Did you see the Domino's one where the guy put in the delivery notes? I am hungover as fuck. I'm in my underwear watching James Bond in a dark room. Please, when you enter the front door, it's unlocked, in parentheses. Take a left through the kitchen, follow it by the pantry to the back room. You'll go down a flight of stairs, and then there's a sliding door. I'm in there. Don't be afraid. It's a picture of a Domino's woman holding the pizza with the sliding door open, and he's clearly in a basement. And he's like, yes! It worked!
I hope...
Hello and welcome to Learn to Wargame, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or PG Mutilus on the forums. I play Kador.
This is Karl. I'm not on the forums. I play Legion.
This is Max. I might be Age of Egos on DACA. Come annoy me, I'll ban you. And I don't know what I play. I play stuff. I have like 12 factions.
You don't really play right now.
I mean, I
played guns.
I played on Monday this week.
More than Trevor.
Whoa.
This is Jeremey. I go by Lord Fool. I play mercenaries.
Oh, shit. Is that actually everybody? Damn it.
What are we talking about this week?
This week, we are going to talk about the new Junior Warcasters that got promotions.
What?
Yep, they're new.
They're gay. And that's a podcast.
All right.
Max?
So, what Karl was saying...
We're not doing that today.
Oh,
Not today.
Not today.
So what we were going to do is start off, we're going to go around the table, and this is what Karl wanted to do. I think it's terrible. We're all going to talk about what we think is the worst one.
Let's try really hard to make it a very good idea. Let's make this work.
How about we talk about the cast?
We need to do the opposite of what Brandon said.
Summarize what they do.
Okay, that's fine.
And then we'll each say which of the position 1 through 5 we think they're in, 1 being the best.
Oh, that's fine.
Zadash is obviously the best
ignore
one.
my idea and go with what you want to do.
That's good.
Zadash is obviously the best one.
Zadash is obviously the best Warcaster.
Zadash is pretty okay.
I mean, he's not going to keep any of the spells he has.
I've actually been kind of looking at some scored stuff. I think they're
fine.
They're fine. But I don't play them, so maybe it's different on the table.
So, who wants to run through what the Ret one does?
The Ret one,
also known as the worst one,
Because you probably won't.
a Reach 2, Power 27 weapon. I don't know how she's bad. I'm just kidding.
I remember when Helga first came out on War Room, she had about 25.
Yeah,
melee
that was legit.
It was a shield, too.
Oh my god!
And she has Cyclone.
Yeah, we were like, how is this balanced? And then we were talking about, maybe they felt they really needed a melee caster. We were talking about,
she needed to be PS 25.
Is she actually broken if she was PS 25?
Come on,
and we were
are you kidding me?
I don't know if she's broken.
With Cyclone, she's super broken.
Maybe.
She's pretty broken. Alright, so Alara is Speed 6, Mat 7, Rat 4, Def 16, Arm 15, Range 2, PS 13 melee weapon. She has Apparition, Field Marshal, Retaliatory Strike. She has Retaliatory Strike, and she has Blood Boon on her melee weapon. Her spell list is Boundless Charge, Convection, Marked for Death, Scything Touch, and Teleport. Her feat is friendly model units in Alara's control area gain Ghostly and are affected by Boundless Charge. It was ruled this week that even though Boundless Charge is a friendly faction ability, that friendly models still get it. So when Holt charges a model under her feat turn,
Balance.
he gets to charge for free. And plus 2 inches in Pathfinder.
Nice. So if you give up having him have plus 2 damage from arm, then he gets Boundless.
Why does that work?
Because her feat says friendly models.
Oh, her feat says friendly.
Even though Balance Charge is a friendly faction ability.
They figured they'd throw Ion and Holt a bone.
and that's the 2 models they can take that are not partisan.
Well, there's 3, but Madeline Corbeau cannot charge.
Shouldn't have a weapon, yeah.
So...
Did you go through her spell list already?
I did. Do you want me to do it again?
No.
For your
It was Teleport
benefit?
and Boundless Charge.
No, Scything Touch. That's actually a pretty big deal.
Scything Touch and...
Marked for Death, also good.
Marked for Death is good.
She's actually got a really good spell list.
That's another buff for Holt, because he gains benefit from Dark Shroud.
And Marked for Death.
He gains Marked for Death.
Boom!
Holt's
Greatest Merc buff ever.
I think her spell list is actually really pretty good.
Her spell list is good. Her feat's kind of meh. Retaliatory Strike, nothing really abuses that in Ret. But besides just like hitting things back.
Yeah.
I mean, there are
It's
some
actual
things.
just retaliatory strike.
Yeah, it's
There-
nothing like,
nothing like-
I knock you down.
I'd have to look because I haven't looked enough, but they might have warjacks that have mechanical seizure.
They don't. We like literally looked through this on Monday at the store, and there's
Okay.
nothing cool in the army right now.
Holt has retaliatory strike then, right?
Friendly models. No, it's a field marshal. It's on her feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was her feet.
Hypnos has a Shadowbind on his fists.
Yeah, he does. So they can't advance anymore after they're done.
Don't they
charging.
have some disruption? Or is that only on the guns?
No, they don't have any disruption on fists.
Shadowbind isn't nothing, but yeah, it's pretty situational for it to matter. So, how good do we think her feet is? Seems
I think it's pretty
minor,
good.
Balanced charge and that's
And ghostly.
ghostly.
It's pretty good.
Ghostly's not bad. Balanced charge and ghostly. So you don't have to charge to ignore terrain then. That's
Correct.
It's right.
Because that was always the downside of K-Door. It's like, hey, that unit can't charge. You're like, sweet, because it has relentless charge.
It's a threat extension feat
Yes.
that causes her not have to pay for balanced charge at all on that turn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and her spell list is good enough to carry her anyways. I
Scything
think.
touch is interesting, especially on vengeance units that want scything touch, because you can just put it on a sentinel, and then do you kill that sentinel? Because then the whole unit gets vengeance.
And I'm just going to recast Dark Shroud.
Right, and it just
So you basically just can't shoot him. And if you're not going to shoot him, you're not going to shoot anybody.
right. So it does present you with kind of a Sophie's choice.
Yeah. If you have, it makes
Or
it
it
where if you
also
have,
gives her the ability to not have to cast Concentrated Power to get the +2 on Warjacks. Or if you do cast Concentrated Power, then things like Banshees start hitting at freaking PS22, which
Right.
is pretty hard.
So, but if you have one Death Stalker or something that's going to pick off 2 Sentinels a turn, they're probably not going to bother if you're going to get multiple Dark Shroud. Vengeance
Honestly,
Weapon Master attacks.
depending on what you're doing, if you only have one thing that's just going to focus on the Sentinels, and you're only going to get 2 of them a turn, you'll probably ignore them anyways. Because 2 is not enough. You want to be killing half the unit to trigger Vengeance.
Right.
Yeah.
Her having apparition is nice, I guess. I don't know, it seems kind of pointless.
It's she's not personally dangerous, really, so
She's not. Though she
it's
can
not
put
a big
scything touch
deal.
on herself.
she could be power 15.
At
but-
7, PS 15 can
And she's kind of sort of speed 8, which
maybe
means
kill a
that,
caster.
and she can balance herself, so she can actually go quite a ways.
Yeah.
She has teleportable.
Yes.
Does.
Yeah, she also has a blood boon on her.
She does
Yeah.
have blood boon on her staff, which
Does she have any spells she wants to arc?
not really. Convection.
Mark for death.
Yeah, mark for death. That's true.
I was just thinking maybe you could apparition forward, cast spell, and then back up.
You can do that.
Or teleport backwards after.
You take Silas, so you get +2 range. So it's range 10. Sorry.
I don't know.
Our
I think she's pretty good, to be honest with you.
I think she's good in the field of juniors, though. So there's 5. I'd rank her at number 4.
I'm not sure who you're putting below her, but I think she's higher than that. I think she might be number 2.
2. So we've got a 4 and a 2.
I
haven't
gonna
actually.
put her at number 5 just because I think Signar models are good. I don't know. I think it's between her and Jake's for. We're getting ahead, but I think she's at least a 4. I don't see her.
I
being
think
particularly
she's-
strong.
I think she's at least 3. 2 might be too high. She's not even close to
But
Jake's.
let's look at the main thing. It gives Rhett another caster.
That's nice.
I mean, she doesn't. What does she? They already have stealth outs. She has a damage buff. She has a defense debuff. She has a threat extension.
I'm not saying
She has Pathfinder on her card.
I could maybe see her moving up to 3, but
Jake's is just. I mean, obviously,
We're
it's
not
getting
talking
out of the
about
way,
Signar
but
yet.
she's.
I could maybe see arguments for 3, but I'm going to put her at number 4.
It's fine.
And I don't mean that she's bad. She's perfectly fine. I do think she's bad.
I think.
Syria.
I think all of the casters they actually did an okay job of not making a garbage junior.
They all have niches, but
But Jake's, well, the downside
We'll
to
talk
Jake's
about
is
that
she's not garbage, but she just does stuff slightly worse than every other caster that can do the thing she does.
All right.
she's
not
just,
garbage,
just a
though.
Mark 3.
The reason I don't like Alara is that I think she's bad Assyria. Assyria gets her feet every turn. Assyria has a death debuff. Assyria lets her model see through stealth and has a damage debuff. A damage buff.
Yeah, but if you're worried about stealth, Rifleman with one
Sure.
can just see through stealth the entire
Sure.
game.
Okay, so
I'm not saying she's tops in the faction at all. Don't get me wrong, but that's
No,
not what
no,
we're talking
That,
about.
that's what I don't like about her, though, is I think she's just bad Assyria.
I think the one saving grace of her, which is probably her defining point, is that she has a melee damage buff that's not a feat and works on infantry.
That's
So that's like definitely her defining point. So
Silent Touch is nice and
is that what they want in
Red?
Is that what they want? Because as far as I can tell, their hard-hitting melee unit is Sentinels, which don't really care.
I mean, PAL 14.
I mean,
is
it's
nice.
certainly better than PAL 12, but
We
Sentinels.
talked about this the other day, Brandon. When do you not want a damage buff?
You want the damage
Never.
buff, or are you not going to play one of their other casters?
Like, are you
to
not
get that damage buff?
You're not going to play Viros 2, who has a massive damage
or
buff?
Ron, or Syria, or Raven.
Or
Raven's
Ossian?
bad, from what I understand. Ossian seems like just a better choice if you're going to
No,
have a unit.
I'm not advocating that she's better than those casters. I think she's better than some of the other juniors. That's all I'm saying.
I think she's better than one other junior.
And that's fine. That's your
I guess
opinion.
if she's not impactful to the faction, I think that by definition means she's bad. Like if you get it and you're like, that's sweet, and you literally immediately put it into a trash can because you're never going to play it, I think that is the definition.
Well, what other than one turn that makes your jacks kind of hard? Let's just move on because we can talk about other casters.
Yes. I will put her at a 4. I don't think she's the worst.
That's fine.
Jeremy, where do you think?
We're not voting for a final thing. I don't give a flying fuck.
I think she will definitely see more play than Jake's.
So,
She'll also probably see more play than the Kador one. I'll be straight honest with you.
Maybe.
I don't think he's bad at all. She probably will.
Okay, so that
I mean, all
was-
it really takes is somebody to win at some major tournament with them. One of
and
them.
then they'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was Rhett. What do we do next?
Let's just go with Signar.
Signar. We've already like halfway talked about her. So Jake's
Yeah, I think we talked about her the most so far, so let's get out of the way.
more than Alara. So
Not
Jake's.
garbage, but bad.
Jake's is
Move
a
on.
Speed 6, Mat 7, Rat 6, Def 16, Arm 14 caster. She has parry. She has 2 hand cannons and 2 melee weapons that are both PAL 12, PS 12.
Bitch has acrobatics.
I haven't gotten to the back first card yet.
Bitch has acrobatics.
She has acrobatics, Field Marshal Sprint. She has Sprint herself. One of her blades has feedback. One of her blades has Electroleap.
That seems familiar.
They are both half-inch melee range.
That's not so bad.
Her spell list is Bullet Dodger,
Weapons.
Escort, Lightning Storm, Positive Charge. It's Striker 2. Like Striker 2. It's literally Striker 2 spell list, but
It's
kind of
not.
worse. Yeah, he has
It's a
Lightning Storm.
mixture. It's a mixture of Striker 2 and 3.
Yeah. and
She
Bullet
has
Dodger.
Escort. Striker 2 does not.
So her feat, Powerhouse. While in Jake's control range, friendly faction models gain immunity, electricity, and parry. Affected models' melee weapons become range 2 and gain Electroleap.
So the most important thing about her feat is gains parry.
Yes.
That might not be true. Some models in the faction get a decent buff by gaining reach. Not many, in my opinion. Most of their melee shit already has range 2.
Or range 1 at
range.
least.
is,
Yeah.
at least range 1, and 1 inch doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, a threat extension of 1 inch on a feat, like casting dash for a feat's not very good. And that, it's basically that, like parry and 1 inch extension.
Before we get too far ahead here, I do want to go back to Alara for a second. I think it's her name.
Yeah.
She probably has the best defensive stats of all of the new ones.
She does. She's 16,
16,
15.
16, 15. I think
Probably.
that's the best defense. That's worth mentioning, I think. But moving on again.
She's also Focus 7, which is also a
Correct.
big negative to
She is Focus
3
7.
of them.
Her and Tristan are both focus 7. So that's something.
I did not think we would get Sturgis 3 this soon. I was really surprised.
Except she was stupid and didn't keep the weapon whole with range 2.
So she lost the... She has to feat to become as good in melee as Sturgis was.
She also can't use it as quickly as she can.
Yeah, she also doesn't get 2 attacks for every focus.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have chain
wait.
attack.
She gets Electroleap on her feet.
No, actually, I'm pretty
So she
sure.
has Electroleap and Electroleap.
I'm pretty sure Sturgis
Nice.
1 is quite a bit superior to her.
Ugh.
Wow.
That's a statement.
I mean, she's
I
probably
mean,
better
they do different things.
Yes.
Because one breaks armor slightly better, and the other one buffs the army.
Positive Charge is a really good spell. That's why they usually played their Positive Charge caster.
I would say that she's probably better than Constance plays.
Sure. So she's 5 out of 6.
See, that's my thing, is I don't think she's garbage, but there's just multiple casters in Signar that do it better.
I don't think she's
I think
garbage.
if they don't have those casters, she's infinitely playable. She's fine.
Yeah,
she doesn't have a great feat.
It's not that
she doesn't.
It's not that her
but
kit does not work. It's that it's
not as good as Striker 2.
It's not as good as Striker 2. It's not as good as Striker 3. It's not as good as...
Probably not.
And that's only
It's not as good as the new Battle Box lady, Maddox.
That's if we're comparing her to very
not.
similar like casters, and those casters don't see play as it is.
No, because they're not as good as Haley 2, Haley 3,
Right.
Sloan, Kane 2.
Yeah, they're not as good as their quote-unquote power casters, which usually are extreme range power or control.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason those mid-tier, mid-line casters that kind of do a combination of both don't see a lot of play. They do see play, and they are good, but they don't... I don't know. It's hard to say why would you play her, basically. Because she's worse than 3 other casters in the faction that do very similar things.
Yeah.
And those casters are already rare.
And it's not because of her spell list, it's because of her feat.
Yeah,
She just doesn't have a good
Is that
feat.
not the worst feat in Signar?
Stormclad gains parry. That's what that feat is.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Stormclad gains parry.
It's all of your models that...
But you know what's better than gaining parry is having Fury. That's also pretty good.
Yeah.
Which you can do with a caster in the faction already, and his feat does something.
Like, all of it gives, like... All of the good models in Signar have reach and Electroleap. Like
Storm Lances are amazing with
Storm Lances, Stormclads. I guess it gives Electroleap and reach.
Storm Wall.
The Storm Wall has those things. So I don't.
Storm Guard. I'm just saying, like name things in Signar with reach and Electroleap.
Yeah.
It's like there's like 20 things.
When Stormguard get their Power Swell, Desperate Pace, Iron Zeal unit or UA,
yeah, they'll be
they'll be takeable.
I don't disagree that Storm Guard are bad.
So what you're saying is that Jake's feat makes every model as good as Stormguard.
Yep.
With
Sword
parry
Knights.
and parry.
And parry.
Parry.
Plus parry.
Yep.
Like I don't even know what you like. I guess Boom Howlers on Murdoch get a pretty good boost from the feat. Like I got my hands up. Like I don't know what you want me to say. Like that's a terrible feat.
Nis Hunters with Murdoch get a decent buff.
I will tell
But they
you.
only gain 1 inch.
I will tell you.
So do Boom Howlers. Like everything in Signar is 1 inch melee. It's like,
I will tell you.
Gun mages.
It's almost as bad as Denegra 2's.
Oof.
It is better
It is
because it
better,
does
though.
something.
I don't think Field Marshal Sprint is that valuable.
It's not. It's
Because
they're speed 5.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough.
Their heavies are speed 5.
If Signar's problem was look at how I'm alpha striking all these heavies off the board with
Yeah.
my
You know,
heavies, like,
if
if
she
Trolls
had
Field Marshal Sprint, that'd be something.
now, don't get me wrong. If she had mobility would crush
You'd be
her.
better in Trolls.
Really?
Because you're more likely to one round another heavy with your heavy in Trolls.
I don't think that's the problem. I just don't think they get far enough back.
Right, that's the thing. Like
So
if she had
the
mobility and that'd be another problem because mobility would actually crush her spell kit because she has to spend 3 for mobility to work.
She's got 1 to allocate when she's
But-
positive charges.
But if she had mobility instead, and now all your warjacks are your heavies are speed 7 or 6 plus reach. Now they're 8 or 9 inches away. They're pretty far away.
Yeah.
They're safe.
That's the other thing. Like all the heavies
But-
that she actually wants to take are like balls slow.
Yeah,
Because-
speed 5 is as fast as her heavies are.
Stormclads are hands down their best basic heavy, right? Like all-purpose heavy.
It's their best alpha heavy. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know.
If you were like, I want a good
All-purpose.
heavy and I don't care what it does, like Stormclad's first place you reach, and she like
Rowdy with her feet is interesting, maybe.
It's true. But I mean, like I don't. She doesn't really do anything for her. Like everything at once, she already has.
I mean,
Like you're giving a +2 movement and then positive charge, but you can do that
Other
like,
places.
Other places
I
in the
agree.
faction.
I agree. I think she's so.
You're not giving it +2 movement. You're getting
5 out of
1
5 out of
inch
5
extra
is what
range
I-
on feet reach.
All right. I don't think
Well,
she's.
escort. That's kind of escort.
I think she's the worst of the juniors. I don't think she's bad per se. If
No,
you-
she's certainly not an unplayable caster.
She's not like she just doesn't not work. But I don't know why you.
I think
play
she
her.
was designed to be thematic, not competitive.
So what I've heard.
I've heard that she was basically tied to the video game.
Yeah. So I've heard
Yeah.
that the final form of Jake's in the video game is basically this, which I don't like. Two
Which is
people know
why
that.
nobody played the
Because-
video game.
Yeah. Two
Well,
people play the video
that
game.
and the AI is fucking terrible.
I can't believe they put Butcher 3 in a video game. That was so...
All right.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with that.
Anyone
bitch.
not think she's 5?
I think she's number 1. All right, let's go.
A number 1.
Who next, Max?
I don't know what order are you going in.
Your order. You decide. You're in control.
Let's take Kador.
All right.
I guess if we have to review.
Commander Andrei Malikov. Speed 6, Mat 7, Def 15, Arm 14. He has a hand cannon, range 12, POW 12. And he has Evangeline as his melee weapon. Half-inch melee, POW, PS 12. Rat 6.
Penis 12.
15 boxes. He has battle plans. Fighting Dirty, range 5, target-friendly faction model, warrior model. If the model is in range, model hit by its next basic melee attack becomes knocked down. It lasts for 1 turn.
That is errata, if you're not aware.
Sneak, range 5, target-friendly faction model / unit.
We're still not sure on that one either.
Yeah, is it checking?
Not sure if it's even in check. I don't know if it's actually officially on them.
So right now it targets warjacks. Sneak lasts for 1 round, model gains prowl. So while benefiting from concealment, gets stealth. Throat
Can
cutter.
be useful.
Target-friendly faction warrior model / unit. If the model / unit is in range, it gains backstab. Lasts for 1 turn.
I will say that one's better than I expected.
Yeah, seeing him play. Yeah, so his last special rule is Sucker. So that's a good one. His spell list is Escort, Razor Wind, Tactical Supremacy, Veil of Mists. His feat, Poison Pill. And just stop there because it's garbage.
No, but see, that's the thing is like outside of escort and his feet, I guess his battle plans are okay.
So when a model in Malakov's battle group suffers damage from an enemy attack while in Malakov's control range at any time except while it is advancing, after the attack is resolved, the damaged model can immediately make a full advance. Additionally, while in Malakov's control range, models in his battle group gain parry and cannot become knocked down. Poison Pill lasts for 1 round. So,
Okay. I will say that I was probably a little big eyes on him at first. I still think he's very good.
I think he's good.
After playing him in 2 games in which I think it was actually really hard matchups for him, I played him against Wormwood. It probably wasn't an optimal list, and the guy wasn't very well practiced with it.
No.
But Wormwood is just hard to beat with a heavy list.
Yeah.
And then the other game was against Veil 1 with double Hellmouse.
Yes, that was probably not a good matchup.
I think
It was also your very first game, so I
right,
think
it was
you
my
made
first
some
game with
mistakes. him.
I definitely did not play my feet right the first time, because
No.
I let you drag 2 heavies out of my control area. That definitely should not have happened.
Brandon, he also has a pistol. So
It's not a pistol, is it? It's a
It's a hand cannon.
Okay, I was
But
like,
I'm just
oh,
saying,
God.
I said that.
I'm just saying, you didn't use it.
I did forget to use it, and it almost cost me the game. Forgot to shoot a fucking mannequin.
If he had played that last turn right, it would 100% have cost you the game.
So anyway, everyone's first initial impression with him was he was going to die to guns. I don't understand how people even said that.
Sucker
out loud.
on a caster is not something we've had before, and it's, I think, because when I played Veil 1 against you, and there were a couple times where I could have gotten to you with enough attacks to, I think, kill most
There was
casters.
several times Typhon was in walk and shoot range.
Yeah.
I just wasn't worried.
What's the wording difference between sack pawn and sucker?
Must versus may.
Yeah.
So we have Terminus exists.
Terminus and
that's true.
excellent Texas, but
But both of those casters are
Sucker got
incredibly
upgraded
hard
to
to
range.
Yeah.
Sucker got upgraded.
But
to
his
range 3.
his stat lines are
Those are both range 3 too. Sackpon's range
I know
3.
Sackpon's always been, but some
Terminus's
people might not know
Terminus's 14-18 stat line's much better than 15-15 with
15-14.
or yeah, there you go.
He's got
15-14.
escort, so he's commonly a 15-16.
And he's got a cloud he can put down.
Correct.
And
yeah.
he can stealth himself.
He can also stealth himself.
We've gone over not on the podcast, but
Yeah, he
single
is,
model stealth removal is actually not very hard.
It
in this
is not
game.
hard, but in a lot of matchups, putting a cloud in front of him and then you can throw a blizzard on him to give him stealth in addition to being behind a cloud, you have to have anti-stealth or cloud tech to get to him. Not to mention, once you get through all that, he has sucker to models.
If you
that
take
are-
a fuel cache, also you can put him in the cranny of the 2 clouds,
yeah.
which actually
But-
is really good.
My thing is does he do anything for your infantry outside of battle plans?
outside the battle plans, no, not really.
So he's not very
attack
good with the
supremacy.
infantry.
I was actually watching him play in 2 games. Way more impressed than Throat Cutter than I was on paper. You get back strikes way more often.
It is
No, backstrikes are
so
good.
easy.
That one was in my opinion, was that, and then the knockdown one, in my opinion, almost worthless.
See,
the stealth on
say
coming.
that, but like
There are situations where it's amazing.
There are.
having
There
knockdown
are.
at will, which if you take a Draken, you basically have it at will. It's a Mat 8 boosted attack. That's a big deal. Like that can close out a game. That's the difference between like Thagrosh 2 coming in and killing a heavy and not because he can't because you'll kill him.
Yeah.
Like having knockdown's a big deal. And I just used Thagrosh 2, but like any late game Butcher, any of the butchers coming in and killing a heavy.
Karchev. Knocking out card chip is huge.
Because he loses unyielding.
And it's not base size dependent.
Having knockdown at will like that.
Basically power attack on infantry models, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's not something you're going to use every game, but I think it's very powerful. I think it affects the game in a big way.
I don't want to go more in depth on him than anybody else, but I have actually played games with him. I haven't seen any of the ones on the table yet. I played him with 6 Juggernauts, a unit of Man of War Demo Corps, the Kovnik for the Man of Wars, Silas, and Mechanics. I was basically sneaking the Man of Wars and using a couple of them as sucker targets, and pretty much just running Juggernauts at people. I definitely feeded too early in both my games, and then messed up the positioning of my caster twice. I lost the first game versus Karl, and then I won the second game versus Wormwood. And I think he has a lot of play ability. I don't even think the list I played with him was very good. I think that list has a lot of room for improvement.
We haven't talked about what I think is like clearly his best ability, which is his feet is insane.
And seeing it on the table, I think it's even better than if you get it to you literally just time walk melee attacks most of the time.
Like as frustrating as Enliven ever was,
and that's it's
better.
It's unlimited Enliven plus steady plus parry.
Yes.
So, and I don't even think we've gotten to the point where if you get to talk about what happens if you use the feat offensively, because you can drop a Veil Miss and feat for parry and just charge through their models with speed 8 Juggernaut or charging 9-inch Juggernauts with 10-inch threat. And that's if you don't even put like
you can also
better or worse than Magnus's feat.
Certainly better than Magnus's feat. I think there's a couple feats.
I understood that reference.
Yeah,
it's better. Magnus's feat is very good. It's better than Magnus's feat, I think.
I think there's a couple feats in Cater that are probably. I don't think Irust's feat is necessarily better.
I think it is.
-3 speed just doesn't do it sometimes, though.
I think it's a big deal. I think it's in general better. Charging through forest is very good.
It is.
I think Zerkova.
Does he run into the same things we were talking about with other people?
That's what I'm thinking about.
Why do you play him over other casters in your faction?
I think
I do play him over other casters in my faction.
Of the 3, I think he's the most. Of the 5, he's the most likely to be played. I think he runs a very strong battle group centric list. So he's in this.
I think he's
4 other casters in that faction.
I agree. I think he's good enough.
In a lot of matchups, I think he's better than Butcher 1. And Butcher 1 is an amazing battle group caster.
I think he's potentially better than Vlad 1.
Potentially. They do different things. That's the thing, is like no one else like protects their battle group, they just have battle groups. Except for like Zerkova 1, and her feat is it's lower threat range. It doesn't keep you from killing them if you can get to them.
Right.
It just lowers your threat range. He actually protects them. And Harkovich is the only person in Cater that actually has a protected feat.
Yep. So I've heard this a lot about his feat and other defensive, not just him, but like other defensive feat. It depends on your opponent attacking. Sure. So every time I hear that, a friend of mine used to say, well, what if their feat said this model is immune to damage for 1 round? Is that a good feat? Because if it's a good feat, then defensive feats are good. Or feats that require damage to trigger are good.
I'm just going to play 2 Sepulchres with the Crix Junior, and you can never get away from me. Because I have pull on 4-inch reach. Boosh.
You get base to base.
Yeah, I can be speed like 10.
What happens when he like walks around beside you and gets out of your line of sight?
I don't think he can, because he can.
He 100% can, because it doesn't expire.
Right, I know it doesn't. Damn it. Alright, just go back to the right play, which is actually just stationary, and you're fucked.
Stationary is the one thing.
Stationary, for sure.
Stationary is the one thing that gets around it.
Shadowbind, I think.
Yeah, Shadowbind gets.
There's a couple things to get around it, but
there you go.
Going in.
That is actual an application for Denegra's feat.
Yeah,
sure. Shit, she beats the shit out of Malikov.
Mate, I don't know if she beats the shit out of him, but she counters his feat.
It's true.
Yeah,
I think he's number 1. I think he's the best junior.
I agree with number 1.
I do not.
hard to say whether or not Tristan would be.
Tristan is.
I think Tristan, we've actually struck new ground on him, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
I actually don't think he's number 2. I think the one
we'll talk about that in a minute. We're still on Malikov.
Yeah, okay.
So far our ratings have been on the Ret 1, Max, did you say number 2?
3.
Number 3. And then we all said 4. Then I think everyone said 5 on Jake's. And then on Malikov, we have a 1, a 1. Max, you say
probably 2.
A 2?
2.
Jeremy, do you have a feeling on Malikov?
I think he's either 1 or 2. I haven't really looked at Akios, so
Okay, so
I don't even know. I haven't even actually thought about ranking these, so I don't know where my numbers are actually going.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is like the visceral gut reaction.
Fine to do it.
It's good radio.
It is. So let's move on to Minoth then.
Sure. Tristan Durant. Sovereign Tristan Durant. Speed 5, Mat 6, Def 14, Arm 16. He has a range 2, POW 12 melee weapon, Veritas. Focus 7. He is Field Marshal True Sight and is True Sight himself, and Veritas has Crit Dispel.
Garbage.
Which is weird.
That is the worst ability.
Okay, so especially...
Because they're like, oh, I'm just going to dispel that. And you're like, nope, and I lost.
He's going to dispel that. The first spell on his spell list is Chasten.
Pretty good. Well, he also has Crit Dispel. Though.
Yeah, so you don't have to cast it. You just fish for a crit.
Yeah.
Cleansing Fire, Shitty Nuke. I mean, POW 14 Nuke.
That's like, I can't get over the side. The Crit Dispel is fuck you. I didn't know he had that. Why would you put that on his card?
Because he can roll 2 dice and roll 2 fives.
Ooh, he can dispel off of Spell Ward units.
That's true.
Got it. Never mind, we're good. I have justified that ability.
Sacred Ward. His third spell is Unique Hand of the Creator. Remove D3 damage points from each friendly faction model currently in the spellcaster's control range. Can only be cast once per activation. Then he has Inviolable Resolve and Manifest Destiny, which is the first time we've seen that outside of Thakrosh 2. His feat. Warjacks in Durant's battle group currently in his control range gain 1 focus point. Durant gains 1 focus point for each Warjack in his battle group currently in his control range. He cannot have more focus points than his current focus result, as a result of Prayers of War.
Why can Madrak 2 then?
That's not going to get changed ever, I promise.
I promise. Madrak 2 is never going to get nerfed. Keep playing it.
Anyways.
I think what a lot of people initially go is, holy shit, Manifest Destiny, and just put as many Crusaders as you can in a list. We did that and did not like it.
Why would you... True Sight is the cool ability.
So that's number 2 is, oh my god, he's got Field Marshal True Sight. Every gun you can take.
You can't sell out to either one,
exactly.
I don't think.
Yeah.
And when we started doing, let's just play Combined Arms, and when they get you, you beat the shit out of them.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, hey, that works.
Turns out, guys, Reckoners are still good.
Let's just play Minoth from Mark II. Because they're like, I'm walking towards you, defeat dead. Like, oh, fuck. Because he can allocate 3. Allocate 5, Harmonious, pull off a rack, cast Manifest, and then go back to 7.
Yes.
And then the Jacks go.
Which he needs to because he's 15-14.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no.
15-16.
14-16.
He didn't keep an armor buff, did he?
That. He didn't.
He did not.
No, he did not. Oh, he is inviolable.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he did.
Inviolable himself. Yeah.
So he can Inviolable, or he can put Inviolable on something else that's useful.
Inviolable's a good spell. Manifest Destiny.
He's going to be standing in base with a Vigilance. He's going to be like an 18.
Until the Vigilant gets knocked down, and then he no longer has a roadblock. Or knocked over him, and then he's now both knocked down.
That's why it was better with Fortify. Just take Tristan and put a Vigilant on
Tristan with Vigilant.
Hey, War Room.
Oops. Hand of the Creator is interesting. I think you could run him with Bastions.
His freaking heal spell is nasty.
Not even because I think it's good, but I love the concept of it. That's such a cool spell.
Yeah.
Because it's just fluffy. It's like, hey, all my stuff's just not hurt anymore. Like, it works on Jacks, it works on infantry.
Right.
I like that if you take a Seneschal, the Bastions heal D3 plus
I
1
love the Bastions. I like the Bastions. Inviolable resolving them makes them a decent stat line.
Armor 18 sharing damage between them and then healing D3 plus 1. Why would you shoot that? Oh, and then I have 3 Templars, so they have shield. Or no, I have Rovan and Co. in case, or whatever you put in there.
Right.
Like,
Rovan and Co. is also great because dudes have 8 boxes, so they actually survive as shield guards.
So we're getting to the reason why I don't I think he's good. His kit is good. I don't really like him because he fixes problems that Menoth doesn't have. What Menoth list were you shooting off the table?
So this is a whole situation of all
What
of
Menoth
them.
list are you shooting off the table?
what are you talking about?
What?
I don't understand what you're saying.
So he keeps things even. Hand of the Creator makes things even better against shooting.
Well, that's just
because you usually don't want
that's an optional spell that is good when you need it, but I don't think you game plan for it. Other than maybe
I don't think you game plan for it, but I think Menoth is one of them. It's probably the most, maybe trolls, but probably the most resistant faction to guns. And that spell just makes them more resistant to guns.
It doesn't make him resistant to guns. It lets them play. It lets him not play the mechanic tax. Is exactly what it does.
1-point mechanics in that author.
But he can cast Hand of the Creator, fix a Cortex, then feat to give it focus.
Sure.
And then camp more.
Like focus.
It's focus. Sometimes you just need a charge.
But other...
I very much like the spell, but I understand what you're saying.
And so, like, Manifest Destiny helps to hit, I guess, but Men-Off Jacks hit hard. That's not a thing that they need help with.
It was probably the accuracy more than anything, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Chasen, Men-Off's the only faction with Purify. I think all the things he does are cool. I just don't know that he doesn't do anything better than other stuff that Men-Off does. Like, I look at him, and then I look at Raza.
I think that's the negative of all these casters, to be honest with you.
I think Raza is very strong. I do think they play different lists, which is why you... If you see Tristan, it's because you don't want to play Raza. For some reason. Now, it might be because you want to take guns and Raza doesn't. It might be because you don't like playing melee-centric. Whatever
He's better with guns than Raza. I'll give you that. But I think in general, Raza's better.
I don't know that Raza's not a better blunt force instrument. I mean, that's certainly possible. He is definitely that.
Sure. So his feat is better than Raza's for giving his jack focus. I'll give
100,000%.
Yes.
There's no... That's like allocate all your jacks one focus. All your jacks have unlimited focus. Like, that's the difference. Like, his feat is so much better than Raza's.
I agree with that. I think he's good. I don't know that you'll see him very often.
Probably not. I do think that they have a lot of good casters, and I do think that Raza and maybe Sevi 1 fill a similar role to him. Not the same, but similar enough that you could probably just make the call to go with the known way to do it.
Right.
There is a bonus to playing unknown, though.
There is.
Yeah, but, like, he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't have a surprise.
Manifest Destiny...
Being able to heal your warjacks and all your infantry...
But that's not they read the card and they're like, oh, you can heal that, so I'm just going to make sure I kill everything. That's
a big attrition advantage, though.
If they have to play around the spell you're not even going to cast because they play around it, then you're affecting the game by not doing anything.
I think it's a minor effect on the game.
Sure.
It's not nothing, but I still don't think it's enough to get him to see play.
Okay. I don't disagree with your outlook.
Okay.
I am going to rate him at a number 3. I do think
I am also going to rate him.
Has potential to go up to 2 in my book, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm also going to rate him as number 3.
I would probably also put him at 3 and move Alara down 1.
So right now we've got...
I thought you put Alara at 2. You put her at
we went over this a second ago.
Okay. So
that's fine. Brandon,
I'm with you.
She's still at 3. Okay. And then now she's at 4.
So
and she's still at 3.
Alara at 4 for everybody.
Yes.
Jake's at 5 for everybody.
Right.
And then everyone but Max has Malakov at 1.
So Malakov is at 2 or 3? 2.
And then everyone has Tristan at 3.
So we got one more caster.
All right.
So let's talk about Captain Iacos. He is a Speed 6, Mat 7, Rat 5 Warcaster, Def 15, Arm 15. He has a Harpoon, Range 6, POW 12, Magic, and a Reaver. They all have POW 7 melee weapons, except for Tristan, probably. He might be POW 7 also.
I didn't even say anything. I just stared at Karl. He's like, he might be POW 7.
So all of their melee weapons are as good as Juggernaut's Ice Axes.
I mean, so is apparently an Assassin's Blade,
So his Reaver is POW 7, PS 13. He has Jump, his Harpoon has Drag, and his Reaver has Grievous Wounds. His spell list is Assail, Carnage, Scything Touch, Stranglehold, and White Squall. It's a unique spell, cost 3, range 8, POW 12. Instead of suffering a normal damage roll, a non-incorporeal model hit by a White Squall is thrown d6 inches directly away from the spell's point of origin, and suffers a POW 12 damage roll. The model thrown does not deviate. Collateral damage from this throw is POW 12. His feat, models in Iacos' battle group that are currently in control range gain +3 speed and assault.
So does he have the best spell list?
Stranglehold's a really good spell.
So is White Squall.
Sail's
not bad.
Decent.
There's not a bad spell on this card.
There's not. Carnage is also a very good spell. Scything Touch is a very good spell.
He wishes he had 10 focus.
He wishes he had 7, honestly. That's all he really cares for.
Yeah, his spell list is very good.
He suffers from Gorton Syndrome really bad. Hey, look at all my sweet 3-cost spells.
I mean, Carnage is 2. Scything Touch is 2. Actually, all of his spells are cost 2. Except for White Skull.
White Skull's 3. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
But you can... I mean...
I'm counting Stranglehold as a 3, sorry.
No, it is not. It is a 2.
But he's gonna boost it, so...
You're right, boost damage.
He's going
Most
to
of the
boost
time.
damage.
So, Stranglehold's a really good spell in Crix. Because Deathjack can cast it. They've got a lot of spell slaves that if they get a hold of a soul,
One
can
spell
boost
slave
damage. They've got 2.
in every list.
One per list.
1 per list, sure.
But you could take one per list with Puppet Master on it.
Good. Cost 9 points.
Take it.
In that list, I think you do, because White Skull's also amazing.
White Skull's also real. I think.
You take it more, I think, for Magic 7 over Magic 6.
Yeah, that too.
Sure.
I'd certainly rather have a rerolled Magic 7 over Magic 6.
I think he's the closest thing in this group to a control caster.
I think Malikov plays more control than that. Just from the form of denial.
I think
He doesn't
denial and
control,
are
but
different.
that's true.
Stranglehold is a really big deal, especially with Scything Touch. And
Alright, I agree,
so
because you said closest thing to control.
Yeah, I think I don't know that I'd call him a straight control caster,
I don't think he is.
but he does have a lot of threat range.
Stranglehold is good, though.
He is a
Stranglehold is
huge
very
tempo
good.
caster.
Yes,
for
he's
sure.
a very good tempo.
He's got lots
caster.
of speed
And I'm
buffs
okay
and
with
control.
the feat only being the speed buff, the main speed buff, because generally you only need that super long threat range once.
Right. And he still has a sail. Like, he still has an every turn.
Yeah, he still can do it every turn.
What's the threat range on a Reaper with him? On the Assault Drag?
So speed 6, 8, 9, 12, 8, 20?
Speed 6, sail to an 8, charge to an 11, feet to a 14.
So
Mhm.
22.
22,
Oh, yeah.
22-inch drag threat. Pretty good. And then you just
He
send
himself is 21.
He has
On a
drag,
small base.
so
Yeah.
you can only drag small.
It's
You just straight take two, you just take two Reapers, and like, they have to screen everything, and if you ever get to clear something off.
Well, in White Squall, you can just throw stuff away. Like, Deathjack can walk up and throw things away, or the Black Friday, Wither Shadow Combine model with Spell Slave can walk up and throw things away. I think White Squall is a really cool spell. He has
It's a lot cooler when
We
you
talked
know
about
it's
the
just
speed interaction.
throw on hit instead of
instead of
crit throw.
crit throw,
Yeah, it's a lot better.
which
We
is
thought it was crit throw. It was maybe almost castable when it was crit throw. And it's like, oh, it's auto throw? It's like, that's a little better.
that's way better.
Slightly better.
Yeah, you can talk about his cool interaction.
Ryan thinks it's amazing that you can charge someone before taking your assault shot, cast White Skull to throw them away from you,
Mm-hmm.
hit them with your assault shot, drag them back to your melee range, and then punch them in auto hits.
You spent probably 5 focus to do that,
Depends on their armor value.
and yeah,
But
and
yes,
def, because you still have to hit them with your magic 6.
sure. So you're boosting to hit a White Skull, that's what for.
Yeah.
And then if you're shooting, what's his face? What's the fat dude? Rasheth. If you walk up, hit Rasheth, not need to boost to hit.
So you're knocking down the def 10 caster.
yes,
Okay.
worth 3 focus.
Uh huh.
And then you drag him back in.
Uh-huh. Do you?
Maybe.
You need to roll a 3 on 1 dice.
Oh, is he power 12?
Yeah,
That's average. Just take it. All
You
right.
also can't drag Rasheth. Let's point this out.
Oh, no!
Oh, you're right. And
Gordon?
also, if he doesn't make base and he rolls a 6 on a White Squall, he's out of range.
Okay, so those funny interactions.
I think his control factor is actually pretty good. Stranglehold's a really good spell in Crix.
It is. It's not like he's focus 10 and can, like,
And he still has...
geomancy at once.
Sure,
But, yeah,
it's not...
he certainly has some control aspects.
He's got a mat buff in Crix, which is pretty important. And he still has his armor debuff.
Do you remember the moment someone said, I don't think his feet is restricted to battle group? And I was like, whoa!
My brain melted.
Greatest caster ever. This plus 3 threat on everything.
Texas Raiders. We're back, baby.
Feet bottom of 1, engage your army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems okay.
They lost desperate pace, so now that they run 20 inches.
Plus 3 speed.
Yeah.
That is something. Like, you feet bottom of 1, you run...
No, we talked about this with Vlad. It's still not worth it.
But they're faster.
Are they? 9, Vlad's jacks run farther. Vlad can get bad dogs running 20.
I mean,
I
but they're mad
I
dogs.
can get
They are bad dogs, which means there's 7 points, not 10.
I can get lights running 20 all day long.
True.
That's true. You can't make the lights.
So, that is the one thing, is his spellist wants him to play Crix Jacks. Crix Jacks still
I think
aren't
that's
great.
not a bad thing, though, because
And Crix gun
he
Jacks is
makes
bad.
their jacks valuable. because they get to do stuff without dying instantly,
Because
which is what everyone complains about.
They
Because
get to go far enough to...
they out-threat you. Like, that's what you want.
Kind of out-threat you mostly.
22-inch range drags. 22-inch threat range drags. That is annoying.
It is the thing. Take Malice, so he's Brat 6, POW 14. Is he better than Gorshade 1, though?
Gorshade 1 is pretty good. They definitely play differently,
Is
I
it-
think.
Yes, but I think
They take similar models.
they're both taking kind of the same list. They play differently, but they're taking the similar list. Malikov is... I'm sorry. Iacos is definitely more of a control caster than Gorshade.
It's also a lot easier to kill than Gorshade.
Yes.
What did I say his stats were?
15-15, no stealth, tough.
Yeah, he lost stealth. If he had kept
He has tough.
stealth, that would be sweet if he kept stealth. He didn't, though. I mean, inflictors are out now.
What?
Shield guard.
What?
Inflictors,
No, they're not. They're on the release schedule.
they're out soon.
By the time this drops, they'll probably be out.
I thought they're out.
Not yet. Soon. Soon.
So you get some shield guards.
I think they're the end of the month.
That'll help.
I still think...
There's still 13-point shield guards that want to range out.
But with his threat range buff, like, they can stay close and then go. They don't hit all that hard, though.
And he can't take Bane Thralls to, double up his debuff.
No, he can't. That's true. He's just going to be a -2.
Who are we talking about now? Gorshade.
No, Iacos.
Is he a Dark Shroud?
He has Sighting Touch.
Oh, I didn't realize he also had Sighting Touch. I wasn't paying attention.
Carnage and Sighting Touch. I think he's very good. I think there's a reason to play him in Crix,
Yes.
which is Stranglehold and the threat range extension, which is fairly unique.
He extends some threat ranges.
Definitely no one gets their jacks moving as quickly as him.
I feel like he's supposed to replace more neighbor. I really do.
Yeah, also, Brandon, you could
Especially
cheat in a
because
Sailor model,
now
and it can actually, at that point, it can run 22 inches as a heavy.
Boom.
Sail doesn't give you +2 speed.
Damn it.
Does not.
20 inches.
It only
Boom.
gives you the bonus on charges and flames.
Boom!
Especially now that Darylis can't cast Overrun. Or never is like officially unplayable.
I think they clarified that he can cast it.
He can
No,
cast
he
it.
does nothing.
Can cast it.
Yeah,
you're
he
right.
can absolutely cast it.
So,
Which is my favorite form of fixing things.
there's only one spot left for everyone, so everyone thinks he's number 2 except for Max.
The Crix player oddly thinks the Crix caster's number 1.
I don't play Crix.
Yeah, sure you don't.
But I hate Kador.
Let's go to the
So
tape.
you think he's the best junior?
I don't fucking know.
I didn't have like an argument with you and everything. And then you just bailed on it.
Well, out of all the casters, which do you think we will see?
I think you'll see...
I think he sounds a lot less gay than Malikov. Malikov seems boring.
Alright, so 1.
I think you'll see both. I think you'll see Iacos and Malikov.
I think you'll see. Yeah, if we're going on popularity, I think you'll see Malikov, Iacos, Tristan.
I don't know if you'll see Tristan.
I think you will.
Maybe a couple times, but...
I think I put him on the popularity level of like Durst, somewhere in that area.
I can see that. Like it's kind of a second-tier caster,
Yeah.
but you will see him
Yeah.
from time to time.
He's one of those like I'm going to take him to fix this problem. I think he's a good drop in.
I don't think you'll ever see Jake's. I think you'll rarely see Alara.
I think you'll just see the fanboy Homer people play.
I mean, especially when you can't take Jake's with that.
The one thing Alara
That's
does
actually
do,
a thing. Like
Yeah.
that is a downside to all of these casters, is you can't take their juniors. I think Malikov is probably the worst one of those.
He really wants everything in his battle group anyway. Which
No,
is
but in general-
one. Yeah, I mean, not having Malikov in the list is annoying.
Malikov Behemoth is a fucking thing.
Yeah, that's a pirate.
You're pointing at me. What are you pointing at me?
Sign out.
Ah! Don't throw knives at me. This is Brandon. Don't throw knives at me.
This has been Karl.
Apparently, throw knives at Karl.
This has been me.
That's AJ. He goes on the forum.
Yeah.
DACA, go visit him.
And I'm Brandon, or PG Mulis on the board. Sign back in. It doesn't
And we keep it going.
Keep it going.
This has been Jeremy, and I'm hitting the stop button
Goodbye.
so it doesn't
Goodbye,
happen any.
Got some nomad parts over there. Why haven't you started putting them together?
This.
You took all the time to like line them up.
I know. It looks like an assembly line. I think I need.
All
right.
So are you going to build them or are you just going to leave them there?
I'm gonna build them.
Let's build this wonderful thing you're doing, Brandon.
Do what?
Come on, let's dojo this list.
Dojo this list?
Yeah.
All right.
4 nomads.
Press Nomad plus 4 times.
Only 4?
Wait, are we talking about the list that they're going into? Like that? We can talk about that list if you want.
Sure, it's nomads, galleon, and bard.
Whoa. You're getting way ahead of yourself.
Am I?
Yeah. Here, I'll read it to you.
Am I?
Stockpile. Galleon.
Wow, yeah, imagine a stockpile in this list.
Galleon.
Uh-huh.
5 nomads. Orin. Goblin Tinker.
I'm just blown away by the innovation of that list.
Alright, hold on, wait. If I drop 4 of the nomads, I can pick up a second galleon and 2 repair guys.
It's true.
Thoughts? Better with the nomads.
Yeah.
That list is gonna. I think it's gonna be it. I don't know what.
I don't know if you need the galleon, but it adds an interesting point to it. And guess what? It's exactly 1 point below specialist, so get fucked.
You're like, I can take my galleon, or I can take 3 more
Having
nomads.
guns to keep somebody honest is a pretty big deal.
I think the guns
I
are why
agree.
you take
And
it.
the drag is really annoying against some matchups.
Tom Guan played against the 14.
The 14. Mad Dogs are just not as good as Berserkers, though. I mean, he got assassinated regardless. But I think the person that's willing to take 14 Mad Dogs to a tournament right now is probably not the guy who's going to beat Tom Guan anyway.
But let's talk. Can we talk about that list though?
Sure.
Is 14 heavies in a list okay? Like, is that an okay thing for the game?
Clearly, he just lost. I actually would be interested to see his record for the week.
Probably 3-1.
Really, you think so?
I think it was a 5-round event, so maybe 4-1. I think if I don't know. So Tom
He
playing
kept his
Kaya 2.
Jackson control. Clearly, was the problem.
So yeah, that's a problem.
He's like, I get focus this turn, feed your run. Like, I don't care. He's like, good luck.
No, Tom kills. I think he went first. I assume he went first. I think going first is real important in that game.
When I saw a picture of the board, it looked like the card chip player went first. That or Tom was turtling the fuck out of that game.
Well,
which Tom does not do.
Kaya 2's feet. Don't forget that.
Sure, no, nothing was dead. Like, they were, like, lining up, and the card chip player was past the
I
set.
did see that picture. I think you're right.
I'm
So
pretty
Tom
sure card chip player went first. He
kills-
just got too aggressive.
Kills 4, feats, comes back out of threat range. Kills 4, and there's 6 Mad Dogs left. Like
I
how?
don't know if 6 Mad Dogs beat 4 heavies.
There was 3 heavies.
They do with a Karchev
How's he
feat.
How you killing 4 then?
I mean, I assume that
Unprimaled?
unprimaled but forced Evo to get her X kills damages enough to like someone else can finish it off and still kill another one. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what else is in the list too. So it's 3 heavies and stuff.
I assume it was Getorix, Feral, Pureblood, something.
I was Getorix Feral Pureblood, I'm sure. Or Getorix Feral.
So Getorix is base POW 17?
Right, up to 21.
For
Basically,
strength plus force Evo, 21 is dice up 3, so 10 times 5 basically.
So 15?
50.
Still 1.5 for sure.
Yeah, gets 1.5. So he's killing 3.5, 3.5 kills 7.
If you cycle Force Evo, so then the Pureblood 16.
You can't do that in feet, right? Because the one that went in first isn't coming back.
Is it at the end of the turn or is it at the start?
It's at the end of activation.
Activation. Yeah, activation. Yeah, you're right. So you kill.
So you can do that the second turn. So we'll just say you kill 8.
So a pure barrel kills PS18 with or PS18, 18, 17 with 4 Fury. I think it kills 1.5. Dice off 1, so 6 times 5 plus 5.
The problem I have is I don't think the Mad Dogs kill them.
Not with Karchev.
On the feet turn, they do.
On the feet turn, you'll trade up, but I think you just play smart and don't give them the stalker. Or I guess you don't have a stalker, but I don't know. I actually don't think it's necessarily a good matchup for the Gator player. If
There you go. You could play a stalker. Start with Force Evo on him. He sprints himself, kills one, gets back,
Yeah.
and then you
Actually-
cycle.
I do think he had a stalker in his list.
And then you cycle.
I don't know if Karchev can stay safe against that list, though.
From what I understand, at ground, like he did that, like kill 4, and then killed Karchev.
Oh, okay.
Which I could see happening when the game gets to that point. But
Karchev has to contribute later.
I don't understand how 6 Mad Dogs with his feet.
You can't allocate very much without dying. So maybe he basically tabled Tom and just Kaya killed him.
No,
Because he has no way to go
Getorix.
get Laris.
Getorix killed him.
Getorix killed him?
Kaya can't kill a heavy.
Yes, you can.
Then she's
Just
fine.
like
So she's what, POW 12?
She used to be 11, I think.
So dice off Dice off 10?
Quite possible for it to happen, though.
No,
Not
dice
possible.
off 9.
Not if she's going to do
8,
all
dice off
34 boxes.
She's
No, but...
kneeling.
She's not going to port in front of him. You just place behind him.
Laris has to get behind him.
Yeah, but Laris is on a flank and runs 14 inches. Like,
Okay,
that's
so
easy.
sure, dice off 8. So she does 6 damage per swing.
On boosts.
On boosts. So that's what? 4 times 6?
I think
24?
you just roll attacks and just try and get lucky.
It's still not.
It's about the same math.
I don't think Kaya can kill Karchev by herself, but Geterex killed him, so it doesn't matter. So he obviously did not kill Geterex. I could see the double alpha happening. He kills everything but Geterex, and then Geterex gets to
I think
Karchev.
that's because Kaya is only at 6 feet. I guess with her feet, though. Actually, I don't think she outcrits you if you just play Vlad. Just play Vlad with like.
So that's the
14
problem, I
birds.
think.
Yeah,
with-
I think Karchev is one way to play it. I think Vlad's probably.
It's the worst. I could see an argument for
He does
Butcher
more
one.
damage than Vlad does, for sure. So if the question is like, can you kill these two
on the
Stormballs?
on the
like,
one turn,
Oh yeah,
but not every turn.
not every.
I think Butcher 1 is an argument too.
Probably
Because
just because the ones that are left are going to trade up so fucking hard.
well, that and Full Throttle is so good when you have that many jacks.
So you clearly take Berserkers, right?
I also think 12 Berserkers are better than 14 Mad Dogs.
So you take. Do you just sacrifice Mad Dogs though? Like they're going to kill something. You just take Mad Dogs.
Oh, you take half Mad Dogs, half Berserkers, and just...
Well, because you end up with 7 points left, you could just throw 12 and 1 in and just say fuck it.
Do you think mechanics are worth it?
Maybe.
Or you're just like,
you
fucking
can't leave them alive. You have to kill them. Then you can't be like, oh, I got his Cortex and ignore him anymore. You can't do that.
with Butcher 1 or Vlad 1?
Just with mechanics.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you take like mid mechanics. You just do enough to make sure that they have to kill you. And then you just
Yeah, but
hide
then you lose the... So, but
Why would you...
that's 3 points, right?
Jack?
Or you could take like, I mean, we should just go play Age of Sigmar because it's clearly the better choice. Right?
I mean,
Oh,
Guild Ball's terrible,
all right.
so yeah, Age of Sigmar
Hold
it is.
on. This list actually is starting to scare me. Like, hold on. Vlad 1, 8 Berserkers. Oh, sorry, 9 Berserkers, 4 Mad Dogs, min mechanics.
The 13 heavies and mid mechanics. Can the game handle like... Cause I don't know how Legion beats 13 heavies. I don't think they do. Like, period.
No, like against Hellmatch, you're just like, how many can you drag?
Not enough.
And you're like, and then they get there, you spend your whole turn killing those 6 Mad Dogs.
Sure.
Don't give a fuck, because I literally just charged your whole army.
Yeah, I don't...
Next turn you get a dragon 1.
I think that's going to be a thing, and I don't... So, like, the 8 Juggernaut list was cute. You can kill 8 jacks. It's hard.
Debuffs work better on Juggernauts than they do on anything else. Like, oh look, you harmed a Mad Dog. I lost like 2 points when you did that.
But Mad Dogs and Berserkers are just, like, the box per point. It's just a math problem. Like, I think
you have to play Berserkers over Mad Dogs, because Berserkers damage output over... It's plus 2 power for 1 point. Like, if you could say, Juggernauts are 13 now, but they're POW 21 and 17, you're like, clearly you take that. Like, it's just... Jerry-Rig is the only argument. And I think you just take a couple Jerry-Rigs.
Yeah. And they also
Just so
handle-
you have, like, oh, you can't leave your caster out because Sign's Importance, Mad Dog
They
will
also
kill
have
you.
Berserk. So, like,
Yeah, no, it's really important.
Gas Side's importance, they killed enough infantry, I think.
I think Butcher is 27 points.
I thought he was more.
I think he... Nope, they're exactly the same. So you could just substitute Butcher.
That's a strong argument, too.
They're better every turn, but they don't have the speed. But, man, I do not want to fight that army in a grind.
I don't
Butcher's army in a grind is fucking a nightmare.
So the only reason I think Vlad might be better is Windwall.
Windwall is very important.
Because it keeps him safer. But I don't know how you beat that list.
Butcher's pretty safe most of the time, though.
Like, once those lists start, when the plastic kit's out now. So we might see it tomorrow.
I have a stack of them over there.
If I see that against Legion, I think I just concede. There's no way I can win that game.
I think, well, definitely play it a couple times. But if
Sure.
it gets to the point where you just know you can't win the game, then sure. You just start playing outside the box at that point and wait for something to change. Like, you're like, I'm going to flank with my entire army, and you're just going to have to spread out to the point where you can't leverage forces.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
once they do that, then you just retreat and focus, and you
I
just
mean,
force them to play the game.
You
can't
still
play.
probably play the little 3 just so you're like, oops, you lose. Some players won't give you that.
True. Some people that play Karchev. I really hope that he just, like, charged in for no reason with Karchev and died for no reason. And then, like, had the game and didn't realize it.
Yeah, I don't...
That probably didn't happen.
That list is incredibly scary, and I think...
What else was he playing? Because 14 Mad Dogs is not all of his points.
Probably even mechanics or something.
I'm pretty sure you can take 15.
I mean, when I first saw the Kador cards, I did the math, and I was like, you can take 14 Mad Dogs.
You can take 15. Hardship can take 15. That's why I'm like, where's his other 7 points? Because he's plus 30. Like, there's a whole other heavy somewhere, and nobody knows where it is. Like, did they just miscount? I didn't see shit else on that table.
Maybe he just miscounted.
Maybe it was Berserkers, and someone just said Mad Dogs.
Could be.
So, amending what... We did already talk about the Sloan thing, right? Talked about Sloan.
In the pre-ramble.
Probably in the pre-ramble. Listen to the pre-ramble about the Sloan errata, which is our errata of her standing.
Okay, wonderful thread on the forums. Is Gaston dead?
What?
Why he didn't get it?
Is he dead?
Oh, yeah. I got you.
He didn't get epic, he got dead.
Yeah.
Oh, they said they were going to kill somebody.
They killed Zal and he got better.
Harry's not getting better.
He's getting better.
He's not getting better. His current status is not changing.
That's not true. He's not gonna be a ghost. If he is even a ghost right now.
Totally a ghost.
I mean,
it's called Ghost Story.
The narrator is a ghost. I agree with that.
Okay.
And he thinks he's Harry.
I'm just saying, you've seen a Harry ghost already. Book 3.
Oh, that's been a while.
He fights the nightmare with his ghost by dying.
Jesus Christ, it's been a while. I need to reread that book again.
Yeah, anyway.
Dresden spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Warning spoilers. The book that came out in 2002.
Well, no.
That book came out in 2002. Ghost Stories was 12, I think? 12 or 14.
So, like, at least 2 years ago.
And we all know anyone who started Dresden other than Max in the last, 8 years has finished it.
I mean, I haven't finished it, but... So is that a podcast?
I think so.
Feels like a
I mean, I got through 2 and 10. That's good enough.
You're a monster.
That second one was pretty bad.
Second one was not that good.
It was better than number 1.
It was better than 1. 3 is, 3 times better than 2. It just continually goes up from there.
Yeah, you should read 3.
I told him that.
Read 3 and then stop.
Nah.
I mean, if you can stomach through, troll fluff, then, you can literally read anything. Because Borka then charged and turned his flesh to iron and proceeded to mosh pit all of the men. And oh my god! I want to throw up. It was so bad. I was so excited.
And then he had a barroom blitz.
Yeah, it was literally type in what the card says. It was a sentence and it used 4 terms from his card. I was like, oh, I want to die.
Privateer presses fluff is a thing. It's not a great thing.
It's gotten better. It's got a lot better.
Well, now that they actually have authors.
Yeah,
the Skull Island
novels,
stuff is better. I liked the Butcher book. I haven't read much else.
I recommend the Into the Storm and Into the Wild.
The Costa stuff?
Yeah.
I like all the short stories about the Warcaster Chronicles. I read the Shay one. It's cool because the Butcher book isn't really about him in combat. It's more about his
mental
history.
state.
Yeah, it's about his personality and his history.
Yeah.
I didn't do the Kane one, but it's cool for the Shay one because it describes how being a Warcaster in combat would kind of be like the concept of it, because he's having the perception of 7 entities at once and how he orchestrates everything. He's keeping track of so many things in his head.
I can see that.
Because he's got 4 mariners, and they're all shooting at things and throwing their anchors and dragging people to them. He's keeping track of all of that, and he's got his buccaneer running around, and a freebooter fucking tearing people apart. And he's still fighting in melee and casting spells on his crew members. It's just the things that he's doing in his head, and he casts Phantasm on his ship. He takes a full minute to concentrate and just phantasms the whole ship. And then other ships are firing on him, and then all of a sudden they just start going huge wide because he just starts doing the double image thing everywhere. And they're like, where is he? And they just literally drive straight at them and they can't hit him.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, Shay's pretty cool, and his crew is just hilarious.
Yeah, the Skull Island stuff has been better than the expansion.
I gave up on those the instant I started. I bought the Borka model. I was so excited. I was like, Borka's so cool. I was like, we'll read Borka's entry. And I was like, I'm done. Why not buy this book? It's so disappointed.
Yeah. I still think Denegra 2 might be good.
Last time I told you, what do you guys think when I say I want to play Crix and I want to play Denegra 2? And you told me I was a fucking idiot.
Well, I might have been wrong before. It's happened.
I mean, he thought Legion was bad.
I did. I thought Legion was bad.
They were until the Hellmouth came out.
No, they're good without Hellmouths. I don't want to say that because, like, I don't want Hellmouths to get nerfed.
Well, I mean,
I don't want
as
to
a Legion player, I can understand why you wouldn't want them to get nerfed.
But they're probably going to, so I need to get used to that.
I don't know what they're going to nerf. Just they place in maintenance or something like that is probably all they'll do. I mean, they removed the ability for Cricks to kill their own Mechanothralls and then spawn them forward, so I don't know why they would just put other models in the game that
I don't
can
know
do
why
that.
you would think that would be broken. It's clearly fair amounts.
I mean, when it's in Legion, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying...
They don't hit it pound 15. Come on.
I mean,
Yeah,
Neither-
the
neither
Hellmouth
do-
is the one that hits at pound 15.
the ability to drag, what,
Karl,
12 inches?
Neither do Mechanothralls.
11 and a half.
Neither
Not
do
anymore.
Mechanothralls. And they're also almost the same defense, without impervious flesh and higher armor. I don't know. Hellmouths are good. Mechanothralls probably aren't. I mean, they're not awful, they're just not good.
I don't know why you would ever play them.
Canthros.
Yeah.
Beat Wormwood.
How?
Do they?
Sure.
No.
Because he kills like 12 with a
He kills
Hellmouth?
like 12 a turn.
And he RFPs them all, so, like, they never come back.
Nah, that's
Mhm.
fine. That's not how they work. They just make more guys every turn.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think they hit Mechanical.
I don't think that. They could have literally deleted them from the game. I don't think that would have been hard enough. I fucking hated that unit.
I did too. I agree.
I think they did.
Look, you never have, like...
Hold on. They gave a phantom buff to Denny too that I don't think a lot of people have realized yet. They made the rest of Crick so bad that you have to play her.
Honestly, the only thing that's bad about her is she doesn't have a feat.
Yeah, her feet's garbage. She has really good spell list though.
She does.
She does give Shadowbind to her guns. Like, if he takes Satix's gunslingers with her, they have a pretty significant depth debuff on their guns, which is pretty good.
Fuck, just like bullet throws. Is it on hit or direct hit?
Hit.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
That's not a bad idea.
But
You're just like, I'm
But
just
the
gonna
thing
these
is
three
that it
5
was
inch
only
Legion
it was
caster.
only good, really good against infantry. Now it's garbage against infantry because most infantry you kill when you.
I
hit
would
them.
think of it more as Sorcerer One's feet. Or I would think of it as...
What?
No. You're right. I would think
Little
of
threes.
Lilith 3's feet. I mean, Lilith 3's a really good caster. And if
But
you
that's
just
a.
really good.
If it was stationary on hit, that's okay because then it becomes assassination.
I think it's still a
-3 def is still a lot of help towards assassination. It doesn't. It's not.
You're
just
still +1 when they're behind a wall over their normal stat line. Stationary says your defense 9 now,
It's not
It's
as...
a help.
It's a help.
and Little 3 has a Rat 8 delivery system for that.
I mean...
Hers only works on range attacks, though, right?
Yeah.
Hers is not as easily
That's
applicable.
scary.
Yeah.
Because Legion doesn't have guns.
They do have guns, just like Crix
okay.
has melee attacks and guns.
He's right.
It's really important to put the Shadowbind on that heavy now.
I mean... Can you guys take Iris?
No.
Do you have any disruption?
No.
Well,
Disruption is death.
get disruption.
Take out their cortex.
Get precision strike?
Fuck
That's
no.
disruption.
Got a blank here.
That's alright.
Oh, they have the void gate spell.
No.
Yeah.
We've
that gone
gone
now?
over this.
Oh, does it not do?
Do you not remember how bad it is?
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
like
bad
really-
We
now.
talked about how that was maybe one of
Does
the...
it?
maybe
Does it stop allocation?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
We talked about how it may be the worst spell in Crix.
I am willing to say yes, just so Feast of Worms is not, because I love Feast of Worms.
Feast of Worms isn't even close to the worst spell in
But
Crix.
everyone used to complain, like, it's like the worst overbuff ever. I'm like, it affects spell
Armor
models.
debuff.
Debuff. It's debuff.
Yeah,
It does affect Spellworm. Feast of Worms is not the reason Scabrous is bad.
the reason is good.
The only negative to Feast of Worms is it's a 4-cost spell. If it was a 3, it would be really good.
I don't think Death Jack and Spell Slaves can cast that spell.
Deathjack can. Spell Slaves cannot. Deathjack can still cast Hellmouth. It's literally that it's just a high cost. That's the only negative to that spell. Otherwise, it's good.
So did they make Brute Thralls solos?
They both.
Thralls?
Yeah.
If they were.
No.
But there's a reason to take mechanics.
No,
That's a reason.
Brute Thralls might be the only reason to ever play Mechanothralls, but it's a min unit of Mechanothralls.
Yeah.
Can the Sepulchre still make Brute Trolls?
As far as I know.
From the models
The
that kills in
downside-
melee?
Yeah, that's the downside of the Sepulchre now.
Right.
And it can't.
This is a lot like the NFL. You know, some teams way overspend during that like 3 or 4 years they're trying to win.
And then they're dead.
and then they have to basically pay all that money.
They're like,
at some point.
fuck, we traded our next 50 years worth of first-round draft
Remember
picks.
when we paid 5 first-round draft picks for that free agent guy? Like, that was not a good idea. Don't do that anymore.
I mean, we didn't win a Super Bowl, so, well, in Crick's case, they
not every
definitely
time
did.
does it work like draft day and you get all your picks back. Just saying.
That fucking movie.
I like that movie a lot, but that was very unrealistic. And that's fine, because Waterworld was also not really realistic. But
Are you arguing that like Kevin Costner's entire catalog is good?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
but
Postman
Waterworld
was a little weird.
Waterworld and Draft Day though.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
Obviously.
The negative of Cricks was
That's
that
a
they
battle
had
blade,
to
sir.
have-
You treat it with
had to have
respect.
an option to play against Cricks. That was the negative to the meta with Cricks. And they were honestly the only good infantry-only faction.
I think that's a negative to Sloan. Actually, we talked about how Sloan is like one of the top 3 casters in the game.
I don't think she is.
I don't think she is either.
Are we
I
still
think she's
pre-rambling?
good, but I think,
Yeah.
well, I mean, there's a
We don't
negative.
know crunchy topics yet.
Oh.
What?
We're just chatting.
We're recording, right? We can talk crunchy anything. I don't give a
but
fuck
we're
what
gonna have
you
to
say.
rehash this
I
for
like
the main episode.
Brandon, do you like granola?
I do.
Can we not talk about that because it's
Well, you can have soft chewy granola.
that's garbage though.
That's
You need to
called
get out of
oatmeal,
this.
sir.
Probably.
That's actually just
That's not what you asked, though. You like good granola.
Quaker oat granola bars are soft and chewy.
I like the idea of granola more than I like granola.
It's actually not very healthy for you.
Is it not?
No.
I bought like
Well,
6
because they
pounds
bind
of
it with sugar.
Yeah, it's full of sugar. It's basically a candy bar.
Then,
Like, how do
I
we
might
get it
just
all
like
to-
loose granola.
That's not quite
It's
true.
not
It's
like a granola
basically a
bar.
candy bar, but it's only like 14 grams of sugar versus
it's not
like
14 grams of sugar. Have you ever looked at a granola
It
bar?
depends.
I actually
on what granola bar.
It
did.
depends. You're right.
I
it
was
does
talking
depend.
about, and it's just, those are the small ones, the Quaker Oats little chewy ones. It was only like, if you got the peanut butter ones, they were only like 11. Because I looked at them when we were in Denver because Spence had that like 86 pack.
11's actually not bad.
Hey, real
No, but I mean they're only this long.
That's
They're
true.
small, but it's yeah. You're right. If you got one the size of a candy bar, it would
Well, a
it
lot
would
of
be
them-
less, but it would still be pretty high for what you think is supposed to be healthy.
Well, and it's also just carbs, right?
No, right, absolutely.
Just disclaimer, if you hear a lot of tapping, that's me. I'm straining models. Don't judge me.
So, like, when you complain about the audio quality this week, you can go straight.
It's not the other quality.
Oh,
Is
I'm gonna
fine.
order
There's just
pizza.
noise within
I'm gonna
the
order
noise.
pizza, so when it gets here an hour in, you guys just get to listen to me. Just
I'll throw in on that.
the Royals won yesterday, so it's half off for
God,
me.
I went and got food because everybody had already eaten. We're
Hey.
gonna order pizza. I want to order pizza.
Hey, I wasn't here. You didn't ask me.
What kind of pizza?
It's true. I did
Papa
not see
John's.
Oh, I might be out.
I mean, that's the only reason I'm getting it is because
The
it's
problem is all the good places don't deliver.
You're gonna get like Minsky's.
Minsky's does.
Minsky's delivers?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've gotten Minsky's to my apartment.
They-
Good too. Is that the pizza?
Did you hear?
That's
did
the
you see
pizza I
Domino's
bought.
One where the guy was like,
That's good then.
yeah.
Did you see the Domino's one where the guy like put in the delivery notes? I am hungover as fuck. I'm in my underwear watching James Bond in a dark room. Please, when you enter the front door, it's unlocked in parentheses. Take a left through the kitchen, follow it by the pantry to the back room. You'll go down a flight of stairs, and then there's a sliding door. I'm in there. Don't be afraid. It's a picture of a Domino's woman holding the pizza like, with the sliding door open, and he's clearly in a basement. And he's like, yes! It worked.
I hope that he tipped her $300.
Yeah.
Because
Because of rape?
She had a coin flip to get raped and murdered there. Like,
I still-
legitimately.
So, like the time at 31st Century it was raining, I didn't want to go over to Pizza Hut to grab food, so I had them deliver it. You know,
Like-
the 100 feet.
I don't know, because I've never been at 31st.
So the corner up here where the 7-Eleven is,
Uh-huh.
there's the middle island is a Pizza Hut and the 7-Eleven. The strip mall surrounding it is where 31st Century.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah, that's 31st Century. That's why we lived here, because it was like super close. That went
That's-
to fucking garbage.
It's not why we live
One of the
here.
reasons.
But
But I still tipped the guy like $20 because I'm like, I'm not going out in the rain.
But that guy is, and he's bringing me pizza.
And he's like, all I had to do was walk over here. It was going to get wet anyway.
He's used $20 ever made.
Yeah.
God damn it! All right, what do we need from Minsky's? I mean, all you had to do is mention Minsky's. I'm always down.
I actually don't think I have cash.
Hey.
I do not have cash.
That's okay.
I'm fine. I'm not hungry.
All right.
would
Well,
like to eat
you're
pizza.
fucked.
Especially from a place that puts full strips of bacon on it.
You legit.
Crunchy topics. So Kara
What do you want,
Sloan,
Dane?
not quite as good as we thought. She's still great. I just don't know that what her list brings is meta correct.
I think with the heavy skew, she's fine.
If she's against a heavy skew
Yeah.
and she plays a stupid list, she's really good against it.
So
I just think
the
that-
reason I don't think she makes the top 3 or the S tier that we were talking about last week or whenever we talked about the S tier is because the list that she wants to play that is so hard to beat is naturally whatever she builds is usually answered by a list, and it might not even be something you built specifically to beat her. It's just that you drew the 1 in 12 bad matchup, and it's a really hard game for her.
I think that almost every faction can play a list.
And yeah, and if you really
And she's
try,
on everybody's radar right now, so you're going to run into a lot of bad matchups.
Yep. I don't even think I'd play her in
And I think
of the
now
ones-
that the whole armor,
I think I
over
would
the hump
play
of,
if
like,
I want a shooting assassination
do all
option.
jacks.
I'm pretty sure I would just play Kane too.
I think Kane 2 is better.
I think he'll give you more
you finish?
options because he just he can carry all the shooting on his own, and you can bring more heavy pieces that can actually trade.
Like, for just a strict range skew, Kara is still the best. But, like, for a more well-rounded list that still brings that huge range assassination threat, I think Kane 2 is better. Did you ever finish Stranger Things?
I talked about how I finished it, and you were like, I'm on like episode 4. I got a little bored in episodes like 2 through 4, but I picked up again after that. And it wasn't because it wasn't good, I just was not... It's not what I was expecting, so it took a while for me to get over my expectation.
Yeah. That kind of show, if that was just an episodic show, like X-Files, just kind of a new monster every week, I think that would have been cool. But I also liked it
I think
for what it was.
I compared it to Fringe, and you said you never watched it. I think you should watch Fringe. It's a lot more lighthearted than that, but it has heavy spots as well. Just don't watch the last season.
Okay.
It was one of those
Fringe
like
is still
writer
on?
strike garbage things.
Is Fringe not still on?
No, it's been over for a while. I don't know if you're- but it's like one of the writer strike like badnesses. It's actually probably the worst.
It killed a lot of shows.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was during a writer strike, but it went like the first 3 seasons were all really good. Then they basically wrapped up the main storyline. Like, well, we got renewed, but we literally have nothing left to say. So let's just start something completely new. And it was just really weird and bad and made no sense.
Is it on Netflix?
It was. I don't know if it still is.
All right, I got food coming. I'm gonna eat it in front of you.
Oh, shit.
okay.
Boosh. All right.
Are there any movies that are out? That are
There's
good?
actually a few I've been wanting to see. I want to see that, what was it called? Fuck, I can't remember the name.
Joy Luck Club?
No.
Sausage
Not
Party.
that. Actually, Sausage Party looks pretty good. I've heard good things.
I've heard
about
good things about it.
it. Actually,
Is it
I've
out
actually
already?
heard
It
some
is
pretty
out
good
already.
things
Okay.
about the new Star Trek.
It's okay.
I saw the new Star
it's
Trek.
fun.
It was not probably as good as the first one, but probably better than the second one.
That's an accurate statement. It's like
It's very lighthearted, but it's not bad.
It's a complete throwaway, like, just...
Right. I
Action
heard it's
movie.
more like an episode than...
It is a lot like an
Yeah.
episode, yeah. Like $100 million episode.
Yeah.
The first one was definitely better than the second one. I still enjoyed the second
I
one
did
just because it was fun enough.
Okay, Suicide
they
Squad.
had-
I liked Suicide Squad, but I
haven't seen
had
it.
literally garbage expectations. But, I mean, the plot was terrible, but what did you fucking expect? They have a bunch of non-established characters on screen together with no plot development time.
Yeah.
What did you think was... Oh my god, it wasn't like fucking Casablanca. Like, no shit. Like, what
I
were
think
you thinking?
people wanted DC's Guardians of the Galaxy.
They definitely tried.
And they tried,
Watching that movie, they literally like add Guardians of Galaxy to this scene. Like they
Yeah.
definitely did that in multiple places. They're just
it
like
just
listen to
didn't
the
work.
soundtrack. The soundtrack is they're like just play 80s songs. That's how they won. Like it's literally that the entire movie. And I liked the soundtrack. It was pretty good, but it wasn't.
It was also edited by
They significantly
the trailer.
reshot.
Yeah, I
Reshot
heard
that
that they
movie.
redid a lot of it, and I've heard from some people that the original movies may have been better.
It was supposed to be a lot darker.
Yeah.
Which
I felt like they really...
I think they could have done.
Not that I don't think women can do things, but they really try to make Harley a central character. She's constantly doing things like, why doesn't the guy with the machine gun shoot that guy? There's 8 people with machine guns in this room, and she has to fight the monster with a bat.
That was some of the people's biggest complaints is about how her story is just completely changed from what it is in the comic books.
Right, because like in the comic book, she's just an abused character. Like,
right,
she is,
and she's fucking insane.
They cut out a lot of the abusive stuff. There was a lot of like Joker and her, like him just basically beating the shit out of her, and her coming back for more.
You just said they cut out of the abusive stuff, and then said that she was abused.
No, he said that's what they didn't put in.
Oh, that's what they did. That's what. Yeah, that's what was in the comics. I agree. Like she was just kind of a domestic violence victim.
They really like the whole
but
helicopter
she chose
scene.
To come back to more.
The whole helicopter scene. He like actually pushes her out.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
I haven't seen it either. I also want to see the Bourne movie. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Did you listen to...
I've enjoyed all the Bourne movies so far.
Yeah, I'd like to see that as well. Did you see did you listen to Chain Attack when
that's
Nathan
the thing
was
with
like,
movies
I
right
really
now.
hope they
There's
didn't
multiple
just make her
movies I would like to see,
super
Crippled Systems?
Yeah. I really hope they don't just make her super sex appealing and they have complementary insanities. And the whole time I was looking at it, because I'd already seen the movie, I was like, oh shit! Like, he's gonna fucking hate this movie.
Harley Quinn's a hard character to do right. I think if you do her right, she's really good.
I didn't think she was done badly. I just definitely felt like she was a side character that they tried to make a main character. Like so much of the movie was about her, and I just we get it. She's crazy. Now there was a couple scenes where I was like, it really worked, and there's other scenes where it felt extremely forced. And I don't know if it's that the girl's not a good actor, because I don't think that. I just don't know if maybe the writing was just really bad.
It's the actor that does Khaleesi.
I don't know who that is.
It is from Game of Thrones.
He doesn't watch Game of Thrones, but is it?
Actually, I think I heard that it's not. It's the chick that played the Wolf of Wall Street.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It's not.
They
look similar, but
not really.
Fuck me then.
Khaleesi's.
Daenerys.
I'd have to look at both
Targaryen.
of them.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, but I would have to look at both of them again. But I think
I saw an article where they're standing side by side. It looked like her, but it's not her.
The movie was fine.
It's the chick that played the wife in Wolf of Wall Street. She did fine in that.
I never saw Wolf of Wall Street.
The main problem I had was
pretty
just
good
that
movie.
the trailer set a certain expectation or theme wise, I guess, and it didn't.
I think the movie. No, I think after seeing the trailers, it was a well-made trailer, but I don't think it was one of the typicals. Took all the good scenes. There's still plenty of stuff in the movie.
Right? No. It just like the tone was completely different from the trailer. The trailer made it more seem like.
How was Ben Affleck?
A lot of movies like that.
Was Ben Affleck like a highlight of that movie?
He was literally barely in it.
I know.
He was in it more than in the trailer, but I mean, you got the highlights of him. He's not. I mean, he's not even really a side character.
I still maintain that the Man of Steel trailer was one of the best movies of 2014.
The Man of Steel trailer?
Yes. Way better than the actual Man of Steel movie.
I thought Man of Steel was fine.
It was okay.
I did not like some of the changes they made.
Superman is just hard to do because he's
I agree.
way too fucking super.
Hard to do, and it hasn't been done well since the very first one. And that's even just like more cheesy good than actually.
It's an 80s movie, so
you can't beat Superman 2.
You can.
Is that the one where the guys
Zod in it?
It did have Zod. I agree.
Is that the one where the
rotating
guys
mirror that went through space
fly away in the broken glass?
Yep.
Okay.
In the whatever it is.
And Zod takes over the U.S. I mean, seriously.
It's happening right now. I don't know if you noticed.
What?
Trump is not Zod.
Trump is not.
Trump is Zod.
Could be. We don't know.
If Trump was Zod, I would vote for Trump.
Because he would make you, like, mind control you into voting.
Well, no,
Trump.
I would just want to. Like, that guy's a badass.
Gary Johnson's got nothing on Zod.
Probably not. I mean, if we willingly elect him, he'll probably favor us. I'm just saying. But you better fucking watch it if you fuck with us then.
So is that like the thing where scientists are like pro-AI because when the AIs take over, they're going to hunt down all the anti-AI scientists?
Probably it. I need to put together these 4 nomads.
I need to put them together tonight.
I do need to put them together.
You're going to play tomorrow?
Maybe. I don't know. How many Relic Horn Claws can I take?
1.
How many nomads can he take?
1. You take like Dirty Megs, though. And,
or that new chick that's not out yet.
The new chick Colby. Or, what's his name? The guy
Rugger?
Rutger Shaw, that's the one. So that's 3. You can take 3 nomads in Kador.
Bornclaw?
Alright,
Doesn't he work for Kador?
More, we count with him.
that was
Wow.
the first one.
Does Rugger Shaw work for Kador?
Yeah.
He's a.
But his best bud fucking hates Kador.
he's a-
Forbidden love. They're not like from the same world.
Yeah, he's a murder mercenary. She's not. All the murder mercenaries
Yeah,
work
he's
for Kador.
he's like the bad guy, and she's like attracted to him because obvious.
Yeah, it's Dresden and Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Never happens.
You don't know
Spoilers.
that. You haven't read the books that aren't out yet.
That's true.
Like halfway through 13. I actually like 13 a lot.
I'm
Good.
still on
I
10.
hated it.
I like it a lot.
Still
I was
on
exactly
10.
where you were, and I was like, "What's happening?" I couldn't handle it at all.
Is that the one where Mouse does his things?
No, that's 12, I think.
No, Mouse isn't
What-
in 13.
what's
so far.
the
I
one
don't think
where
he-
it-
doesn't sound like he's going to be.
Brandon, what's the one where it gets good?
No, he's
No,
not.
at the
dead.
end, they're just like, "Yeah, he died."
Well, then 13's the last book.
And Mouse is obviously the true hero.
I mean, yeah, was that ever a question?
Yes.
All right, well, I guess we're ready to
Are we
start.
gonna do this?
Yep.
No, apparently we're not, Brandon.
Okay.
You don't have 4 nomads together.
Well, I mean, I'm
So-
going to put together a while we're podcasting. It'll be great.
Let's just, I'm gonna go upstairs and you go ahead and do a modeling with Meatless Radio Edition.